Hey everybody, Kaye here at Bamboo Oasis with my friend Daryl Luck, and I am back. I have a whole playlist that I have done of videos here on his huge garden. If you're new to Bamboo Oasis, Daryl is a 45-year?
Yeah, 45 years now.
45-year organic gardener and has...
Wait a minute, 50.
Oh, dear.
I started in 1975. That was my first organic garden, 1975.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, it's 50 years now.
Oh, you're making me...
We should have had a party.
So he has a lot of wisdom about growing food. In fact, he's developed this whole paradise, really, carved it out of forest. Or what was this?
I'm in the middle of the woods. Well, it was a field down there that bulldozers had kind of cleared right before they wanted to sell the property. And they had gone around and cut all the big trees for lumber, so I had these openings where I planted bamboo later. And, and the hill was real steep and rocky, so I brought soil in and made terraced beds.
And of course, the house was already here.
The house was here.
He bought the house.
But the landscaping was pitiful, so that's what I've worked on.
He's been here about 25 years, 30 years?
24.
24 years. So, but his gardening days go way back. So we're going to have a conversation, and then we're going to take a look around, because nothing looks better than the end of June for Tennessee gardening. So stay with us. If you've been following my channel, I had an experience after being with my buddies, Daryl and Denise, our friend Denise, and had a wonderful evening. And then I had an experience which I detailed in a video that I did, which kind of went viral. A lot of people were interested in it, and many comments, and a lot of people had similar experiences or had things to say about what the experience might have been. But what I wanted to talk to Daryl with is we've taken on a lot. We don't have a little condo with a patio garden.
Right.
And I just thought it might be interesting to just talk about where you see things going in terms of your strength, capability. I know for me, I haven't even wanted to drive a vehicle since that happened. And so if I can't drive I live alone in the country. If I can't drive a vehicle, I mean, I've got some neighbors and friends, but that's relying a lot on a lot of other people. So where do we go from here? How long can we keep all this going?
Right.
In light of world events. I mean, with things that are happening in our country and the world. And how long can we keep this ecosystem, this paradise, going? I mean, I wouldn't call what I have a paradise, but it's certainly got a lot of interest, which is why I work so hard, because I've always thought, people go, well, why are you working so hard? Well, mainly because many people don't have that. And if they can see that through my channel, it gives them an opportunity to see it, which is why I'm here, to show them what you have. So they wouldn't get to see your garden.
Right.
If I didn't make a video. And so that's what keeps me going, in the fact that people enjoy it and are interested in what other people are doing. And but there comes a time when we go, what do you think? I mean, are you seeing for yourself your scaling down plan, or are you just going to keep going gangbusters until you drop?
That's been my history, and my motto is bigger and bigger every year. Grow more, grow things you never grew before.
Yeah.
Make new beds for next year. Expand, which coincidentally, totally ties in with what I wanted to discuss today. It will kind of answer your question a little bit.
Oh, he pulls out his notes. I knew it.
This is sort of an intervention, okay, for an addicted person, and me equally. We are addicted to gardening.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, now I want to make this clear. This is a true addiction, and I think we need to look for a support group of addicted gardeners anonymous, or whatever we want to call it. Okay, AGA.
Well,
Okay.
I feel like a lot of people that watch my channel are addicted to gardening.
Probably.
Whether it be on a large or small scale.
Right. So see if these apply to you too. All right. Always wanting more. Like think of alcohol or drugs in like, and then gardening as equal with that, okay? So, if you're addicted to cocaine, you're always wanting more, right? You're addicted to gardening.
Yeah.
I want to keep expanding. I want to grow
Right.
things I never grew,
Right,
okay?
right,
So
right.
that one applies.
Right.
Inability to stop. Can't quit taking cocaine, can't quit gardening. I can't imagine life without gardening. It's my life. That's all I do. I work my butt off here all the time, either lately mowing and weed eating because we've had so much rain.
Right.
And if I hadn't mulched everything, I'd just have a weedy mess,
And he has actually gotten some help in the last year or two for few things here and there, but he does most of it, unlike me.
Well, I don't ever get help for my gardening. I don't like people in my garden, actually. That's my space, okay? And I can't trust people in my garden. Continuing down the list, increased tolerance. Okay, now in thinking of drugs, you always have to take more and more because you're addicted. I'm thinking of building the corn cages and, expanding for next year, okay? I'm not shrinking yet. Okay, intense cravings, okay? We are as addicted as any kind of addict out there, be it alcohol, cocaine, whatever, Okay.
Coffee.
You got to admit we're addicted. Yeah. Well, I can quit coffee. I have quit coffee from time to time. I don't crave it. It's not a problem.
Yeah.
I can't do that with gardening. What would I do? Sit there and twiddle my thumbs all day?
I can't even imagine, no.
Yeah, it's not my thing. Okay. Loss of interest in hobbies and other people. Well, it's not so much that I've lost interest, but I don't make the time for that as much because I got stuff to do in the garden.
I'm
busy.
My friend in Texas says, just come and stay for a while. I'm going, I can't go.
Yeah, right. Who would take care of this place?
Right.
Okay, all right. Neglecting responsibilities.
Ooh, that's a big one.
Okay, things you should be doing, but
Yeah.
I need to be in the garden, so that'll be on the back burner.
Yeah, and when you come in, you're completely soaking sweat and exhausted, so you give yourself a break and you say, I'm going to take a shower, get cleaned up, and have something to eat, and then take a nap.
It's all about gardening, right?
And then the dishes don't get done,
Right.
and the floor hasn't been swept.
When you're
But you have to wash your clothes.
Yeah.
Because when you go in, they're soaking wet.
Right.
They go immediately. I don't put them into a laundry basket. They go immediately from my body into the washer, and they get washed every day.
Yeah, I talk about...
And I think of the people that live off grid, and of course my mother grew up that way, and they did laundry on the weekend, and they grew up picking cotton in Alabama, and they sweated.
Yep.
And they didn't have closets. I have no idea. I guess they just picked these overalls up every morning and put them back on again, right?
Yeah, they stand there stiffly, They can just...
Okay, go ahead.
I was going to make a comment. Now I lost my thought there.
Okay.
Let's see.
You'll have another one.
I'll have lots of them floating around in there. All right. When you're not doing it, gardening,
You're thinking about
you were
doing
thinking about doing it.
You're thinking
Or
about
you're making a list of what needs to be done.
And when you're trying to get to sleep at night, you're thinking, okay, what's the first thing I have to work on tomorrow? Because of the light.
Right.
That's always my thought. Once it starts getting hotter, you think, well, okay, I have to start in the lower garden before the sun hits that and work my way up the hill. It's a little different for you, but it's probably your consideration.
That's how I
too.
do it here. Yep.
Okay.
Try to avoid that hot summer sun.
When you're on a hill.
And when it's real hot in the summer like this, I rate the heat of the day by how many shirts I ran through.
Yeah.
This was a 4-shirt day today, because you come in soaking wet, you get rid of it, put a new one on. That's how I do it. Okay, you have withdrawal symptoms. If you would stop, I think I would. You take me away from my garden, what am I going to do?
Winter,
That's my life.
Well, I know you're planning, and we did
Yeah.
a whole video on how you get through the winter when you're
Yeah.
when you're a gardener.
And having my tropical plants indoors is kind of helpful for that, you know.
I just find the plants inside just a pain.
Wait till you see what I'm going to show you
I
on the
know,
porch.
I know.
mean, this year is
know.
amazing. I've got some cool things happening.
That's the thing about gardening is you have good years.
Absolutely.
Some things happen. This is my best year in blueberries, which I haven't even had time to pick them. They're going bad. Blueberries and what was it? Well, of course, sweet potatoes. I've had great luck with sweet potatoes and tomatoes. But there was something else.
You're just talking about your addiction here now.
Asparagus. No. Go ahead.
Life revolves around it. Absolutely true. I am a true addict because my whole life revolves around gardening. I make all my decisions based on, did I get that done? Do I need to water the snow peas right now, which I should? And it's like all that comes first.
Wait, you've already planted new snow peas?
Mm-hmm.
I thought you did
About a
that
week
in
ago.
June.
I've been eating them like crazy. I had like 2 or 3 weeks there where I ate snow peas every other day because I only pick the big ones and then I give it 2 days and the medium and small ones have grown big and so I go pick them again and then, it kept me going like that every other day.
But my snow peas from the spring are brown and crispy, done.
Yes, I already tore mine up and I've replanted. You'll see they're just popping up.
Okay.
I planted about a week ago and they're just now coming up. All right.
Okay.
Last, we got,
Ahead of me again.
Compulsive behavior. Okay. Does that apply to your gardening? I mean, it's like...
No, I don't think so. I don't think I'm compulsive because I procrastinate too much. I think I go out in the morning and I go, oh, now that I've started going out for sunrise, experiencing this UVA rise after sunrise and the benefits of all that, supposedly, I really like it. And I like to just sit with my cacao outside from, sunrise is a few minutes before 5:30. However, you don't see the sun for 90 minutes. But supposedly during that time, you're getting the benefits of the UVA, even though the sun is not actually hitting you. I'm not an expert, I'm just learning about this, but I'm doing it anyway.
It's peeking through a little bit for you?
That's because, I enjoy it. And I just love the sounds, it's quiet. Not as quiet as here, but...
Last point, could you go cold turkey?
Stop gardening?
I can't. They'd have to drag me kicking and screaming somehow and take me away because
Somebody asked me in a comment after that video I posted, or one of the videos after that, are you going to quit gardening? And I thought, I'm never quitting gardening. I mean, once you have beautiful zinnias, even if I only had zinnias and sunflowers.
that's what a cocaine addict says. I'll never quit. That's how they are. Or heroin, or pick your drug, alcohol. I don't know if they say it about alcohol. A lot of people are trying to quit that, but it seems like when you get hooked by some of those heavier drugs, you're in love with it, and I'll never quit that, So we are addicted. We need a support group because we're getting too old to do this and we're still out there doing it. We can't stop. Don't you see it as a problem?
Oh, goodness. What I see as a problem, now I'm segueing. What I see as a problem is the opportunity being taken away from us. That's what I see happening.
In what way? How do you mean?
Well, just the encroachment of more and more regulations. We're losing more and more natural lands. It's just something. Every day, it just happens little by little, so you don't realize it, and then you wake up one morning and you go, oh, well, they've taken my garden.
Well, it's an attack
or they've taken our chickens.
It's an attack on the food supply, or people. They don't like
Not
people
just
providing
that.
for themselves. That's not
right.
cool.
It's the independence. So you want to feel independent. You want to be able to feel like you can grow your own food if you put in the effort. Even if you have, I see all kinds of videos where people are, well, usually they're younger. Younger people having smaller pieces of land, and they're managing to have a market garden that actually they make money on and feed themselves. on an acre or
Right.
less,
Yep.
half an acre.
Yeah, if you intensely do it.
If
Yep.
everything is, but you got to really take notes and be very well planned. And
Yep.
taking notes is one of my downfalls.
And as soon as
I
you
put-
harvest something, you got to put something else in there and keep it going as long as you can. And you
Right,
know,
and you can't put the same crop in there more than a couple times, right?
Well-
Especially nightshades, right?
I
you
I
need to
hear that, but you
rotate.
know, I have certain things that like I always plant snow peas on those 2 trellises. I
Yeah.
always plant beans along that big fence there.
Yeah.
Every year, I don't change. It's been that way for a long time.
Well, would you say that the benefit of that is because they're legumes?
They're putting nitrogen in the soil, so
Right.
yeah, and I give them manure and things.
So it's
you know.
not like corn, which is just sucking it out of
Right.
the ground.
Right.
They're putting it in.
Yeah, that's a good reason to rotate that with corn or a
Mm-hmm.
heavy feeder like that. Yeah. But if you're really putting a lot of manure and compost, you know, on the soil, I mean, maybe you don't have to. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you're putting it back in.
Well, we want to invite you to leave comments below the video and tell us your experience and if you have any reactions to any of the things that we're talking about. If you've had anybody say, no, you can't do it. You know, maybe it's a family member saying, no, Mom, you're not going to do that anymore. Like my son said, no, Mom, you're not going to ski anymore. And well, he didn't actually tell me. He doesn't have the nerve to tell me what to do. But
You should have said, okay, I'll take up skydiving then.
never. No, there's a reason why I couldn't do that. But anyway, but I think I said to myself the other night in the ER that I wasn't going to ski again because I've hit my head too many times. And my sister had a number of concussions, and then she died suddenly, you know,
Wow.
from a stroke. So I don't want that happening. And so, and then after this happened, I didn't want to get on my four-wheeler for a while. I didn't want to get in my truck for a while and drive. And so it's outside forces. I see outside forces, whether it be the government or just health or something, encroaching upon our habit. Let's call it a habit.
I think it's an addiction.
No, I'm going to call
It's
it
a
a
hardcore
habit.
addiction. But, you know, it's an addiction. If you have to have one, it's probably the best one to have because you get food and you get, you know,
Beauty.
you get to see that. And yeah, for
Wait
my,
till you see his dahlias. Oh my goodness. And his rock walls. See, that's another thing.
well, that's the part of gardening that a lot of people don't bother with. You know, they want to produce food. I understand that. You want to grow food, so
Yeah.
you're just focused
If
on
you
that.
have that half acre,
But see,
and
like-
you've got to produce a certain amount of money
Right.
to
but
feed
to me,
your family.
gardening is to create a space I like to hang out in, like we're doing right now. You know, the birds are singing.
He doesn't have mosquitoes. I don't understand it.
I don't either.
You
but
got this big body of what this is absolutely. This pond is like a mirror of all these trees. It's so beautiful. I'll show it to you. Anyway.
But you know, it's a good addiction to have because it's good for you. Like you said, gardening is my therapy, and so we're addicts, and we're trying to get therapy by practicing our addiction. It doesn't make sense really, but
I didn't buy this. My niece sent it to me, so I guess she knows. Yeah, it's really. I found it to be really something this year. I just kept buying plants. You know, every time I would hear about something great, like Asclepias tuberosa is an orange butterfly weed that the monarchs like, and I hardly ever see a monarch, do you?
Right, no.
Yeah, it's so sad. I saw a lot more in California than I do here. And so I said, there's a couple of YouTubers that have been doing shorts that I follow, and he recommended, I don't even know if this was a short, I think this was a longer one. He recommended the Asclepias tuberosa, and I thought, okay, let me do a search that's good for this area. And, you know, I had 5 plants ordered, 10 minutes after I watched the video.
sounds like an addict.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yes, that's another thing. That's something I really wanted to talk about is, Daryl, with all of your planning and the way you spend money and so forth, would you say that you are self-sufficient here?
No. Never.
Okay.
Never, never, never.
Okay.
No. I never have been. I think that's kind of a, I mean, I won't say it's impossible.
It's a myth.
Yeah, it's, I mean, and because some years it's a good year for tomatoes, and the next year you hardly got any, or, it's always different every year, so you can't really count on anything.
Yeah.
And even if you got neighbors doing it too, and you can trade, they had a good year with beans and you didn't, so you swap out, your watermelons or whatever. I mean,
eggs.
That helps. You can be more self-sufficient that way by trading with like-minded folks doing the same thing. But I don't think that's realistic. I don't.
Yeah.
And the people, we hear about people in the 1800s, carving out the wilderness and, building their house and forging their tools. And, it's like, I guess that really happened, but so we're told. I mean, I don't know. I don't trust a whole lot of history we've been told, but I guess that really happened.
Yes, but we do know.
They had a rough life.
Oh, my mother was one of them.
That had to be, my mother too. Yeah, that had to be rough.
I mean, my mother actually wrote her memoirs, didn't publish them, she just made copies for the family. But of course I remember many stories, but it's all written down there for anybody to see in our family. But it doesn't seem like people care about any old stuff now.
Right.
Does
I know.
it seem that way?
No.
Young people just want everything new.
They don't care if it's handmade and sculpted or something by
No.
They don't care about that.
No.
Machine can knock it out. It's perfect. There you go.
I know. Oh, you know what? Daryl, one of his many hobbies has been to use the little burning tool and make designs on the gourds. He used to grow so many gourds. When I first got here, he had his entire deck there must have been 100 gourds, big ones like this, right?
Yeah, well, I think it was 45 that year.
Oh, okay.
That was one plant produced 45 gigantic gourds. I mean, they were African kettle gourds. They stood from the table. They stood about that tall.
But you would admit though that you used to do more craft things than you do now.
Yeah, and I'm wanting to get back into it, and maybe this winter it'll happen. But see, I also want to do all this rock work here, and you can do that during the winter too. There's no bugs. It's not so hot.
Yeah.
If it's not a really frigid day, I like the 40s and 50s or something. I get out here and work.
See, this is the thing: is when you live on a hill in rocky Middle Tennessee, you feel like you want to terrace things, because it makes a defined border and it makes things beautiful. I mean, I'm looking over here and I'm seeing this rock wall, and if you didn't have it there, I would be just seeing more green coming into green, and then I would see the pond. But by seeing this big rock wall that goes down in stages, it's very artistic and it gives your eye interest to look at it. And it's one thing if you're like Martha Stewart and you can just, I can't whistle. Can you whistle like that?
No.
You whistle, and I don't know if she can either, but I can sort of imagine her going.
My mom could do that really loud.
and then Martha would have like 50 or 100 people out there making everything fabulous, and rock work and terraces and planters and raised beds and irrigation. That's another one that irrigation. Irrigation is just something that I can't stand. What are you pointing at?
Well, I'm noticing where the sun's at. We might want to continue our conversation while we walk around the garden.
Well, let's go take a look around, and please comment below if we've engendered any thoughts that you might want to share. And let's go see the status of Daryl's garden today, June 29th, right?
Correct.
All right.
Let's get our Addicted Gardeners support group started. Y'all join in.
Right. Okay, tell me what you want to tell me about those things.
Okay, these are both my miracle fruit, and they are flowering. I've seen some flowers lately, so maybe, in a month or 6 weeks, 8 weeks, I don't know, we'll have some fruit on there. Here, look, this is the flower right here. It's just this little brown thing.
Are you kidding?
See, that one's open right there. Look, see the little black and white on it?
That's a flower?
Yeah.
Wow.
Not much to it, is it?
No.
Nothing impressive.
I would have overlooked that.
Well, here's one that you'll like.
Okay.
I have never seen this covered with so many flowers ever.
Wow. And look at all the petals on the floor.
Smell this. It's incredible. This is a little miniature orange tree.
Oh, Oh.
Isn't that nice?
Oh, can I have one? Can I have one just like that?
I can give you seeds, you know.
Oh, goodness. I'm not going to live that long.
Look, you're an addict. You're going to do it till you're in your hundreds, so just hang in there.
Well,
and this is my poor pathetic lemon. I guess a Meyer lemon. It's a big lemon. I mean, it's made a few in the past.
Wait, did you say this was an orange?
Yeah, it's a little orange, about the size of a ping pong ball orange.
Oh, wow.
And they're kind of sour, you know. But,
I have had so little luck with lemons, too.
and then real quick over here, I'll show you this. These two trees are my Djibouti kabas, but they are so
Can you say that slower?
Say what?
Say it slower.
Say it slower. Jabuticaba. I guess that's as close as correct as I can get. It's from Brazil.
Okay.
And it's tropical. But look at that. Here's some new fruit. But see how the fruit comes right off the stem.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like
and sometimes even down on the trunk of the tree, you'll see fruit pop out. Okay? I mean, well, flowers first. There's another fruit.
Hold this up right here.
It's totally delicious and juicy inside. They are awesome. They get bigger than these here, you know.
Wow. So is that ready to eat or no?
No, I'm going to let them grow a little bit.
Oh, they're hard.
They're hard and they can get bigger.
Okay.
So they're not ready yet. But anyway, that's exciting because I've had these things for over 10 years now. And this is the first year I'm getting fruit from them. So.
Oh, wow. Awesome.
Real quick, I'll show you how I'm growing carrots here. Because I have ground ivy in my beds, in my garden beds, you can't grow carrots. It just doesn't, they're too tiny for too long. They get overwhelmed. So I grow them in pots here, and I'm having pretty good luck at it. I'm getting some nice carrots out of this.
Well, pull one out. Let's see it. For the people who have never seen.
I should have pulled a while ago.
For the people who have never seen a carrot come out of the ground.
Let's see. There's a pretty good one, maybe. Yeah, that's a reddish one. I got different kinds. There's purple ones, white ones, orange ones. I got a bunch of different ones in here.
Did you use any particular technique to start them?
Nope, nothing too particular. I mean, it's mostly just potting soil, pro-mix potting soil. And then I added some compost from my compost pile, and they do great.
But did you just sprinkle seeds, or?
Yeah, I sprinkled seeds, and then in the beginning, you really got to watch because the weeds are coming up at the same time as the little carrots, and little grass things and stuff. You got to get in. I mean, I spent a little time picking out weeds from these.
Right,
but I only had to do it maybe twice, and then they make their own shade.
Now, it's a cool season plant, so is it too late to start them in June?
Well, I wouldn't think so. You know, if you keep them wet, it's the same with snow peas. I mean, everybody thinks of them as a cool season crop.
Right.
Which they prefer, but I started some a week ago. They're going to go through all these hot July, August days.
Wow.
As long as I keep them wet, they'll be fine. Because they're used to cool and wet.
Right.
You can take the cool away. If you keep them wet, they still do it.
Okay. You're shutting this one down for the season?
Yeah, because of the morning glory that's taken over.
Oh.
I'm trying to just get rid of that if I can.
Yeah. What, do you just keep tilling to get?
No, I'm trying to keep it mulched, but the weeds keep coming up through the mulch. I keep having to add more.
What if you pulled the hay all off and tilled it?
Yeah, that would help, but they'd come right back again. I mean, I'd still need to be mulching if I want to keep it shut down.
Yeah.
All right, what I did here, now this is where I grew corn one year, and then I grew potatoes the next year. Well, this year I just made, you can't tell anymore, I had little mounds about every, I don't know, 8 or 10 feet. And I planted different kinds of melon. This is a cantaloupe. I've got orange glow watermelon there. I got banana melon. I've got crimson sweet melon. But I mean, with all this rain, they have just exploded. They'll cover this whole bed. And then I did dot a few tomato plants along the edge there.
When did you start it? I was going to come around this way. When did you start it? Because mine are like this big, you know?
Wow.
Yeah.
Let me think. I don't know. It was probably sometime in April I put these out here. Because this year...
That seems early.
Everything came early this year. And, I can judge by other plants and when they bloom and things like that. But my bamboo shoots came a whole month ahead of schedule.
Wow.
It really shocked me. I was finding them way sooner than I thought I would. So I just when I saw that they're that far ahead of schedule, I thought, well, then... I guess the season is just ahead of... I'm going to go ahead and plant stuff that normally I'd wait till May.
Right.
I planted them in April, and they did fine.
Wow. I know a lot of people are really interested in bamboo.
Yeah.
And what happened with it a year ago, and how is it today?
Well, actually, there's been 2
years?
Bad winters in a row.
Okay.
Okay, and where if we get, extreme cold in single digits or low teens or something like that, and it goes for 3 or 4 days and doesn't get above freezing during the day, that devastates the bamboo.
Okay.
I mean, look over there and see all those dead ones. That's one variety. That's a specific variety. It's all coming back. See all the greenery down below the tall ones. That's all new growth. They're going to start out small.
Okay.
So I didn't lose it permanently.
Okay.
But it died back. They call that a top kill. It killed all the canes that were there. But the rhizomes are still alive, and as you see all the greenery under there, that's new stuff.
You didn't know that the rhizomes survived, did you?
You never know. You got to wait and see. But I've never had a bamboo absolutely wiped out from cold.
Okay.
They can suffer, but they do recover. So
And this one is called what?
that's Philostachys aurea Kaye. It has, if you want to go down there, it has a really unique thing at the bottom of the cane. They used to use them for fishing poles. They get this really interesting looking thing at the bottom. And
Ribbed.
It'll straighten out. Look at this one. It's like kind of crisscrossy, and then it turns into regular bamboo growth. But down here, so that made a nice handle for a fishing rod, you know?
No kidding.
Yeah, so these were perfect for fishing rods. People use them. There's, if you look, there's different, here's a cool one. I want to get these out of here before they rot and use them in crafts somehow, because, it's just interesting to see how they develop there.
Which ones? You mean the ones that are...
The dead ones.
Just the dead ones?
Yeah, I want to get all the dead ones out, and that'll make more light for them.
So those two are dead, right?
Yep.
Okay. Well, as long as we're down here, we might as well just take a loop through your bamboo forest.
Well, we could. I came in here just yesterday, actually, and opened these paths back up. I had a lot of stuff hanging out over the edge. And then that nice walkway I have on the other side of the driveway needs some work.
Okay.
So
we'll look at it another time.
Yeah, we can look at that another time.
I just wanted to give the people...
This here. This whole open, sunny area was my black bamboo. So I take it back what I just said. I actually have had one variety of bamboo that was totally killed off, but it wasn't from the cold. They flowered. Okay, when bamboo doesn't flower for many decades in between flowerings, maybe 60 years, maybe 100 years, depending on what species. So the black bamboo flowered and died out. And that's why this is open and sunny. But what's happening is that variety and my big hennin, they are sending rhizomes over. They're going to take over this area. So I'm just going to let this develop and see. It'll be a mix of species in there, but eventually I'll have a big bamboo grove there.
Yeah, what is that, Gerald? I don't remember that.
Yeah, well, someone gave it to me. It's some kind of grass, pampas grass kind of thing, I guess. And supposedly it spreads a little bit, but it hasn't spread too much since I put it in there.
Not like the banana plant.
No.
Okay. So if it was over that whole side, it wouldn't be a bad thing, right?
Yeah, it'd look cool.
And your yellow cannas are gorgeous.
Yellow cannas, and that bush, it's getting a little weedy now. That's the Wigelia, has nice red flowers all over it.
Oh yeah, I remember that
They already
one.
flowered.
Daryl, are you still doing your worm buckets?
Yeah, absolutely. I use them constantly.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, this is where I bring my compost, because no critters, and even my critter, Petey likes to root through. If I just put it out in the compost pile, if it smells good, he's going to be in there. So nothing messes with this, and by the time it rots down, it goes down a lot, I could dig that out and put it on the compost pile and finish it out, and nothing would bother it.
Right.
And by having 3, it's about the right amount for me. I can throw compost in bucket number 1 and get it totally full. And then when I come out the next time, I'll work with number 2, and then finally number 3. When it's time to go back to number 1, it's going down at least halfway.
Wow.
So I just keep using them over and over. When they kind of fill up and don't go down much, that's when I take a post hole digger and I dig that out and put it on the compost pile.
And did you first hear about the worm buckets from me?
Absolutely. Came out the next day and put it together after I watched the video.
That's awesome. So I do have a video, and I'll put the little white card in the top right corner. Your tomatoes look absolutely smashing.
Hey, look at it. This is almost all Gary
hang on, I gotta get a look at these. I didn't grow these this year.
Scarlet runners.
Yeah, scarlet runners.
Yeah.
They have the prettiest, most vivid orange flowers. I love them.
And notice it's all just on one side of the trellis and hardly any over here. Thanks to a rabbit that's been ravaging me back here this year.
Oh no, did they just cut the bottoms and then the whole thing dies?
As they're just starting to grow, they nibble them down.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And the deer could be doing some of it too. They've hit my beans on these trellises pretty good this year.
Oh wow, what have you got growing on these other ones?
My gold Marie.
Yeah, these are the gold Maries.
I love them, and I'm letting these go to seed pretty much. I've been eating off of them, but I think I'm just going to let the rest make seed for me.
Oh, wow.
Because I want to have a bunch of that seed revitalized. Oh. And then the next one
You're
is
so
Christmas.
far ahead of me. Oh, well.
What?
I said you're so far ahead of me. What is this? Oh, this
That's
is...
broccoli. It's going to flower. The pollinators love it, so I'm just letting it stay there.
Why not? It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then this is all potatoes. Ah! And there's some of this gourd that's I'm trying to eliminate. It's easy to find them in amongst the potatoes. That's why I planted potatoes, so when I find them, I can get rid of them. But this, well, that's something else there. No, these gourds, it's a little miniature gourd that I planted once years ago, and
regret it.
If you miss a few, then they self-seed for next year, and they'll come and just take over a whole bed, you know. So I'm trying to get rid of them. Yeah.
I want to take a look at this. This is the common milkweed that grows in Tennessee. I thought the flower was white. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? It's kind of pale pink, right?
It's what?
Pale pink?
Yeah.
I was thinking it was white. Oh, I'm thinking of common yarrow. You said last year you were going to dig up some of these and give them to me. Remember? Because I haven't been able to get them going.
Oh, well, we can do that, but I don't know if they'll thrive transplant very well.
Not at this point, probably.
At this time of year,
it's too big.
But you can get seed in the fall.
What is this? Oh, I know what this is.
That's it, yeah.
Oh, that's that weed.
It's edible.
I know, but it takes over like so many others.
Well, see what I'm about to do. Because see, my ground
It's a relative of the green leaves you see on the sushi table.
Yep.
It's, what's that called?
I forget.
I'll put the name on the screen.
But see how this is a sea of ground ivy?
Yes.
But it's rows of potatoes under here that have died back. There's a bunch of potatoes in the ground here.
Wow.
So I'm just going to come out. I'm going to weed eat all this.
Okay.
And then I'm going to go in there and dig my taters out.
Oh, yeah, that'll be good.
This whole bed is all potatoes.
Wow.
Red, yellow, white.
Have Petey dig them out.
Yeah. To train them to do that.
Okay.
Christmas lima. It's like, they're not quite like all the other beans. They don't get with the program. You know, I make them a nice trellis and look, they're just, you know, I have to come up here and teach them, and, you know, no, you want to do this, you know. I got to feed them in there, you know. Not all of them, but a lot of them. I've noticed the Christmas lima is notorious for that.
Daryl, you make beans sound like they have personalities.
You mean they don't?
Look at the size of this thing. What do you got going here?
A lemon squash, and well, actually, I think this one crossed last year. I saved seed for yellow crookneck and then the lemon squash. I picked a few off here already.
I have to believe your garden looks so lush because you use so much manure.
Well, and I'm putting biochar in now.
Ah, yeah.
And that's making a big difference, I think.
And we've done a biochar video, although we need to make another one, right?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we need to make another one.
Okay.
So Daryl uses the same tomato cages for the last, what, 35 years? These are 35 years old?
Probably about 35 years. Yeah.
He carries them wherever he's lived. You got basil.
Basil and holy basil.
Holy basil, yeah. My holy basil died.
I'm getting ready to harvest this because it's starting to flower.
Isn't this holy basil, and that is...
No, this is holy basil. This is regular basil.
Oh, sorry.
Yep.
I was too far away.
Smell.
Isn't
that nice?
Would you make me a salad? What kind of beans you got growing here?
This is some more Christmas limas, although you know what this started out to be?
No.
It was your loofah seed that I planted in January to get them gone.
Yeah.
And by the time late April got here, and I'm starting to plant a bunch of stuff, they were about that tall.
Right.
I planted more seed than that, but I ended up with 6 good plants.
Yeah.
So I put 3 on that side, 3 on this side.
Okay.
They all died out.
Oh, no.
Lost them all.
Oh, no.
So I planted in beans. Daylilies.
Oh, my. Yes. Daylilies are so special. And you don't have deer eating. Huh.
Yeah, they're not
when you go to bed at night, I'm surprised you don't have things like that happening.
Right. Well, they eat other things.
Okay. Look at these cannas. Wow. Mine don't have the copper color leaves.
Yeah, that's a different kind I have to send away for.
I love it. Here's his anise hyssop.
Yeah, there's this
Yours
end,
is-
and here's another one up there at that end.
Yeah, yours is in the perfect time to harvest, right?
Yeah, I just did. I'm done. I'm leaving the rest for the pollinators and,
Okay.
and to make seed. But
Yeah,
I've already harvested.
We've got to give nectar to those cabbage
Yeah.
cabbage butterflies.
Oh, you saw that comment, did you? Okay. See, I'm getting some big ones. They're still green.
Wow.
I haven't had a ripe tomato yet, but I'm getting close.
Me neither, but who knows? My tomatoes are so grown over. I might have one in there. Your tomatoes look fantastic. And I just love the way you have your rock walls, and then you've got your flowers, and because it's on the rock wall, it's up closer to you instead of on the way down here on the ground.
Right.
It's a closer interest to your eye. And if they have a scent, you know, it's closer to smell it. So these are dahlias. Stunning. I have one dahlia. Just one.
Yep.
It hasn't bloomed yet.
Little tiny seed about the size of a poppy seed. I started them all in January.
You're kidding. You started the dahlias by seed?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, these are all. I've had these going since January.
What is this red thing that's going?
That's lettuce that I'm seeing if I can maybe get some seed
yes,
off of.
Yes, of course. Oh, my neighbor used to grow dahlias, but he had the
big kind.
They were huge,
Yeah.
and he had the bulbs, and he took they were all in pots.
Wow.
And he would bring the pots out at a certain point.
So dahlias are perennials, huh? I didn't know that. So I could dig these up and save the roots? And
Yes,
really?
yes.
See, I didn't even know that.
Oh yes,
Wow.
You learned something from me. What do you know?
Yeah, 50 years gardening, and I just learned something. Look at that. I haven't grown a lot of flowers over the years. I've concentrated on
This
vegetables.
is
That right there, that's Royal Burgundy bush bean.
yeah. I've got some of those.
Yeah, I'm letting them go for seed now. They're starting to get hit now. See how the leaves look?
Don't tell me you've had your fill of beans.
Never. Well, that whole row down below hasn't even started yet, so no, I'll be getting much. And that row back there, that's all of my lima bean.
I got to get back here and get a shot of this rock wall with these flowers. I don't think it's ever been prettier.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. The flowers really.
And you've got the interest of that red lettuce there. Just in terms of what you've planted where, there's visually so much interest. It's obviously you put a lot of thought into it.
That's what I do in the wintertime.
Think. You sit around and drink anise hyssop tea and think, right? And of course he loves his petunias. Where are your yellow petunias? Oh, here they are. He's got to have yellow.
And see, I'm real excited about these 3 cages. These are all sun gold cherry tomatoes. They are absolutely the sweetest cherry tomato.
Yeah, they're the best.
I love them.
I don't have any, but they're the best.
I got 3 here and 1 up there on the upper terrace.
Wow, they look fantastic.
Yeah,
and
they're getting covered with fruit. I just haven't had a ripe one yet.
You've shifted things around. I don't. Last year you had beans here.
Yep.
Right, and you got your castor bean plant. That's so pretty.
And the pineapples, they're doing good.
And all of these pineapples, he started from taking the top off and planting them.
Yep.
Buying organic pineapples and taking the top off and planting them.
There's some ginger coming up right there.
Yeah, I need to plant ginger.
But now this one and that one, see how big the plants are?
Yeah.
They're ready. They're about to send up their fruiting stalk and flower.
I've got to get mine in a bigger pot. Where did you get these pots? These look like the perfect size.
I don't remember. I've had them a long, long time.
Okay.
And that's jasmine, which when it flowers, it's incredible.
Jasmine.
And this is Buddha's belly bamboo. Let's see if we can. Yeah, that one sure doesn't look like they're supposed to. They get like a swelling on the inner nodes.
Stem?
It's just interesting looking. But look at these flowers here. This is my Barbados cherry.
Ooh.
And I've eaten some already. And like, see here, here's a cherry right here, still green. But and here's a little bit bigger one. That's about how big they get. But they are a bright yellow orange inside. The meat is,
Yeah.
And really sweet and delicious. There's some more flowers down low on it.
Trying to get back so we can see it better.
But all these tropicals, all this along this row here, the pineapples, the bamboo, this is all tropical stuff.
So
I have to take all this into the house in the winter I have one room that has a bank of south windows, and they get by. They don't really thrive with that limited light, but they don't die.
Now, will the castor bean die down?
Yeah, yeah. And see, it's making seed heads already, see? Ain't they pretty?
Oh, wow. Gorgeous.
The flowers are down below, and then what they're going to turn into up above.
Just gorgeous.
Yep.
Now, castor bean, for people who don't know, is poisonous, right?
Yeah, it's a poisonous thing. The seeds, you know, and the seeds are, you know, if you open up this prickly thing in the fall and take the seeds out, what they look like, you can fool some people with this. It looks like a big, fat, swollen tick. That's what the seeds look like. And I had somebody do that last fall, and he fooled his wife. He goes, "Look what I just found behind my ear." And she couldn't believe it. But anyway, you know, if you have kids or you're worried about your dog, maybe, you know, Petey isn't interested in them, but you could at this stage or a little bit later just clip off the seed heads, and then you don't have that worry, and you still have the pretty plant to enjoy until fall. You know. It's a biennial, you know. Quit working, drink your coffee.
Is that all the sweet potatoes you planted this year?
No, I said I got another bed up there.
Oh, okay.
About the same size as that one.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm letting them grow full size. That's going to be nice. It'll also make shade when I go down the hill to the garden. It'll be shady from these trees too.
Nice. They're so huge now. How old are they?
Really only like maybe 4 years.
And you said they just came up?
Yep, they just came up on their own.
Wow. How'd you identify them? Did you just know?
Yeah, I recognize them. I don't know, I might have looked it up in the book to make sure, but...
Yeah. It's not like you have a plant app. Okay, so tell me about the fence.
Yeah, if you see all the bamboo running across looking like a basket up there, that's all to keep the deer out. It's about 10 feet high. And that's what I had some young fellas help me out putting that up this spring so I could be doing the garden work I needed to do. I don't usually get help here much, but I've been getting some lately to help me with my bamboo groves. There's a lot of dead stuff to cut out and things like that. So
let me just ask, is that pattern that you've got there, is that all there is to it, or are you going to do something else?
No, that's it. You know, because, I mean, the deer look at that and they don't like the idea of maybe trying to jump between those two.
No.
You know, okay? And it's so high to get over it. And so, you know, the only place that right here at the entrance I haven't finished out, you know, they could jump in right there. They could do it.
Oh, for sure.
But I realized that those posts that at my old entrance there, they're starting to give out. That's old cedar tree that was cut, you know. I think when I go to the cedar mill, I'm going to get 2 6x6s.
Oh, yeah.
And make a more permanent entry thing. And I'll make something fancy with bamboo or something above it, you know, and make a nice entryway. But
we featured that archway in the very first big video we did here, remember?
That archway used to have like 5 or 6 curved branches all, you know, it went up pretty high. And every year 1 or 2 would fall off. It's down to that now.
They don't last forever.
Yeah. So, you know, I'm keeping the deer out with that. And the only thing that's still somehow getting in my garden is a rabbit. And he's been working on my sweet potatoes and beans a little bit.
Okay, well, just wait for your corn to develop and then the... Wait, are you actually going to grow corn?
Not this year. No, that's next year. I'm going to build a corn cage. I'll show you up here's where I'm going to build it.
Okay.
And then I have another spot down here that I could build an equal size. So I might end up building 2 corn cages.
That's what I thought, yeah.
Then I can do an early planting and a late planting. And Boy, that'd be great.
Wow.
Be like the good old days, eating corn again.
Yeah. Just have to keep the raccoons out.
Yeah, if I fence them out, they'll be out.
Yeah.
And the deer are already out from that, so, you know.
Yeah.
And the squirrel will be kept out. So I'm going to use chicken wire. So no critters should be able to get in that cage. That's the whole idea.
Yeah, that's going to be quite the little compound.
Yep. It's not much to see here. I harvested a bunch of, I took the whole plant. But those two and this, that's lemon basil. And I use that a lot in cooking, so I harvested a bunch and I'm drying it.
Mmm. This one?
Yeah, go ahead, pinch a leaf here and get a smell of that. It's really good stuff.
I need this.
Yeah, that's a good, I'm making a bunch of seed. This is all the
Oh,
seed.
that is so lemony.
Yeah.
And this one's what?
Well, they're all the same thing.
Oh,
I
they're
don't know
the
why that
same.
one's running later, but you know,
I see.
They're
Yeah.
all going to seed. I'm going to keep the seed. And then I got a couple parsley plants over here, which I need to harvest for parsley.
Yeah, you mean to dry?
Yeah, I'm going to dry them. Yeah.
I was wondering if you had the same problem with ladyfingers that I have.
Mm-hmm.
You want me to pull that out while I'm bent over?
Sure.
I know you don't care for weeds too much.
And this is exciting to see all these flowers right here. This is a bush lima bean. This one I got at the seed exchange, and I was so blown away at how productive they put out so many beans, and
Wow.
it didn't have an actual name, so I call it most awesome bush lima.
Oh, nice.
Oh wow, I didn't even know I had pods already.
Yeah, look.
Wow, it's getting started here. Cool.
Sometimes on the back side, you know, that's what happened to me with the beans. I didn't even realize I had beans, and I walked around to the back of the trellis, and they were already like late. They were already like formed.
Yeah, see, they're getting a little bit of bug damage, but these limas.
Oh, look over here, most awesome.
Yeah.
These are coming along.
Look at all them.
Wow.
They'll swell up big, and I'll have a bunch of lima beans. Now see, here's
you don't want this.
Mexican bean beetle. See this? These are the Mexican bean beetles. That's what does the damage.
Wait, hold it steady for a second. We've done this before, but if they haven't seen the video, this is the culprit.
And it does more damage to my regular just bush beans and stuff than these limas are somewhat immune.
You're not. Oh, I see. And you don't want this. This is the cut leaf ground cherry.
Oh yeah, get rid of that. Just right behind you. Well, whatever.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Hey, Petey, come
Petey, can you say hi to everybody?
Petey, come here.
What I see most on here are the bees and the cabbage butterfly. And you were saying there's this common misconception about everybody calls it a cabbage moth.
Yeah.
It's not a moth, it's a butterfly.
It's easy to tell a moth from a butterfly.
But there is a cabbage moth, and it's gray.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and it's just one of those kind of ugly brown-gray ones, you know. Well, I shouldn't say ugly, but you know.
Well, if you just look at their antenna.
Those are very small bumblebees. Or are they a different kind of bee?
Probably a different kind than the big bumblebee.
Is it a mason bee?
Nah, it's too small for that.
Mason bees are bigger?
Yep, they're big.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Huh.
There.
What do you got over here? Ooh, you got a lot of beans over here.
Yeah, I'm letting them go to seed. This is a Cherokee yellow bush bean.
Oh, nice.
And
beautiful.
I used up the last of my seed to grow these, so I'm wanting to make a bunch of seed.
I have to have more dahlias next year.
I think this is chocolate cherry.
It looks so healthy. Wow. I didn't keep my stems up, and they were laying on the ground, and they just...
Oh boy.
Yeah, they really took a beating. They go, get that camera out of our face, please. We're working. Look at them going after it. My mother would love that, yeah. Absolutely love it.
Next flower over, you got 2 bees on it.
Mm-hmm. Seriously, I have to have more dahlias. Do you have seeds for these, or?
No, I just had a little left in a packet, and I planted them all, and this is what I ended up with. But I'm sure going to collect seed. And it's so cool, they all turned out to be different colors, you know? It's like each seed was a whole different thing.
Yeah, like where did you get the seeds?
I don't remember.
It's just somewhere.
Yeah, I've had them for years and I'd never planted them, and I was like, man, these are like 4-year-old seeds I've never used.
You know what it would cost for all these bulbs? It would cost a bundle.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because they're nice. I wouldn't mind having some of those great big headed dahlias though. All right, I'm gonna walk you through my bean row here, all the way up to that shed.
Okay.
I've got different kinds of beans along the way.
Okay.
All right, the first one is yellow crowders, and they're not the greatest climbers, you know, but they will eventually climb up here. But I mean, see, this one's going way up already.
Oh wow.
Some of the others aren't doing so great. Okay, then the next one, this is red noodle. That's like a Chinese yard long bean that's red. Mm-hmm. Okay, and then we have, let's see. From here up, this is Hopi orange lima.
You want to pull this out?
Oh, yeah, thank you. Need that. All right. And this could use a little help.
Yeah.
All right, that's Hopi orange lima. Up to here. Then I've got
You got
3
flowers.
sections.
You got something
Oh,
happening
you got
here.
it flowering? Okay.
Look,
Nice.
cute.
Nice. All right, then these next 3 sections up here is a Granny Mead lima bean. It's called. I got it from a seed exchange. Mm-hmm. I don't know why it's called Granny Mead. It said Granny Mead, Tennessee, but I looked that up. There is no such place, so I don't know what that means really. And
Yeah.
Look how they're twined all around each other. That's several
know.
plants, and they're just reaching out in the air. And when the trellis is right here,
I know.
go ahead, grab on.
Whatever's
Look at it.
closest.
This is kind of like the Christmas limas, you know.
I got to take a shot of this real quick. I hope you get a taste of these.
Here's some beans already. That's the Granny Mead
That's
putting out
nice.
some beans for me. Okay, then
It's sweltering.
we got a section of, let's see, where's Granny Mead? How many sections is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So all the way up to here. I grew a bunch of that Granny Mead because they're the ones that put out, you can reach and grab a whole handful at once and harvest.
You love that.
I love that.
I do too.
All right, then I did another red noodle.
Wait, is the Granny Mead a lima?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And I did another red noodle in here. Mm-hmm. And then, here's the one you like. Let me see, from that post to here, and it looks like it's having a little trouble here or something. Maybe I hit it with a weed eater.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, this is that
Yeah, it seems
speckled egg.
Look, it seems to be disconnected.
Yeah, that's the speckled egg.
Oh, good.
Up to here, so just that section
Oh,
right
good.
there.
Well, you'll get some anyway.
Yeah, I'll get some. I'm going to make seed, hopefully. Mm-hmm. And then we got the yellow crowder again, hugging low, but starting to climb.
Good.
And finish out with the Hopi orange lima again.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Well, and how on earth do you get the beans when they're way up there?
A simple ladder.
Simple.
Just a step ladder. You go up 1 or 2 steps.
Oh, you have a simple ladder in there. I see it.
Yeah, there you go. It's easy.
Wait.
All right, look down
It's
here.
too dark. Hold on. Your tiller and your ladder is what you have in your shed. Okay.
Look down here.
Oh, and your comfrey. This is the comfrey you got from me.
Yep.
Nice.
The others, I have another planting up there that's doing a little better than that one.
Good. And these are
And
the
here's
sweet
my
potatoes.
where the rabbit's been coming in. You can see where he's been eating on some of these.
Absolutely. It's so annoying.
But they're coming back, so maybe it'll be okay. And then here's another row of the most awesome bush lima. Down
Wow.
low. I'll get this. So I plant
I
them there
don't know
every
how
year.
you eat so many beans, honestly.
Can you guess what kind of bean this is right here? See what I'm doing?
No.
Christmas lima.
Okay.
Because they
Oh,
need help. Look at
Yeah.
this. He's grabbing onto me instead of the trellis. Come on. So I just did Christmas lima, 3 sections. Now the rest down here, this is all red calico lima.
Are you weed whacking in here in the middle?
Yeah, but I won't have to probably very much now. Just
Yeah.
shade it out.
I wish I could walk through mine, but I don't have anything going over the top. So I take it you did not clear off the dead stuff from last year.
No, I don't worry about it.
Yeah.
It's falling throughout the year, little by little.
I got all mine off from last year, but I don't think I'm
some
going to
years I
bother.
get into that, and other times I just don't bother.
Yeah.
Oh boy, look at my snow peas coming up good.
Wow.
Look at that.
Fantastic. Well, I have my work cut out for me.
Look at that. It's like real good germination, and then here, maybe I just buried them a little deeper up here. They're
Yeah.
starting to come up.
Yeah.
But I should have a good...
Are you just doing all Oregon sugar pod?
Yep, Oregon sugar pod too. And see, I should be watering this right now. I come down here and water them every morning.
This is a weed, right?
Yeah.
And I forget what it is, but I have this in my front yard.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
See how dry the soil looks right there?
you've got
You
the
don't want
seeds
that.
every 2 inches.
Oh yeah. You can
Oh, I
pack them
see.
in.
Okay, so Daryl's advice is water your snow peas.
Yeah, like
water your snow
If
peas.
Kaye wasn't here right now, and I wasn't doing this, I'd be standing down here watering these in real good. I do it every morning, especially when they're this young. They're just sprouting. You got to keep them wet.
Right.
But they don't like it. Don't ever let them dry out. If you're trying to do a fall crop,
Right.
just keep them wet the whole time, and you'll have success.
Wow. Okay, well, I'm going to start. I'm going to
Yeah, you
start.
still have time.
This looks so much like a snake. This hose.
Got snake on the mind now.
Remind me how you got water here. Is it from the creek or?
Well, no, there's a spring about 300 feet coming out of a cave up there.
Yes, I know, but
And-
how did you get it in here?
Okay, well, I just have a pipe that runs down. It's running gravity fed. And see where that blue tarp is? There's
Yeah.
a tank. There's a stainless steel tank set down in the ground right there.
Okay.
So it's holding 300 gallons or something like that.
Okay.
And then I have an overflow pipe, and it goes back into the creek.
Oh, nice.
So you can hear, if you listen, you can hear the water going into the tank.
I can hear it.
Okay. And so there's a pump in that tank.
Okay.
That pumps the water up to the house where I have a pressure tank.
Oh, okay.
And then that provides water to everywhere. You know, I got right here in the garden and up at the house and everywhere.
And you don't have mosquitoes down here either?
I never did.
Wow.
Look here. This is from the flood this spring. Dad, I've never seen it that high in my life. And I got 2 log jams. One was down at that end, and one was further upstream. Big log jams. And, you know, a bunch of gravel built up behind them, and it totally changed the character of the creek.
All that bamboo over there was cut, right?
Well, yeah, and that. See, I got to cut my path through there again. I just left anything grow, no matter where it was, just to try to feed the rhizome system. I cut so much out of that grove, and it'll be a couple years yet before that starts to look nice and has real tall stuff in there again.
Yeah.
That got severely damaged in a storm a few years ago, and I'm still, you know, trying to get it back like it was.
What is that? That is so pretty.
Dragonfly.
Oh, that's a
Or
dragon.
damsel. That's a damselfly, but.
Oh, I don't think I've ever seen one.
Oh yeah, the black wings and kind of a greenish body. They're pretty
Come
cool.
back, come back, come back. Come back. It's like turquoise. The long body part is turquoise. Wow.
Come get some. Oh yeah. What do you think, Pete? Oh, you want one too, don't you? Petey wants one.
Oh my goodness.
That's what Petey.
I tried 3 times to get these started and just failed.
Oh, you know why? We messed up.
I did?
No, I did.
Oh.
When I gave you guys, remember I gave you and Steven cuttings that time?
Uh-huh.
It was early in the season. And what we were cutting, we were making cuttings from the fruiting cane,
Oh no.
which is going to just make berries and die this year.
Oh.
Okay, you have to wait till later in the year, like this one. See, this is a brand new cane coming out of the ground. This will make fruit next year. But right now, it's very involved in vegetative growth.
Right?
And so that's what you take your cuttings from.
Oh.
And they will take root.
Well, can you give me some?
Yeah, we'll go up there somewhere and cut a few that I don't really want in that area.
Up there? The ones over there?
Yeah, I got some up in the woods there behind it where those chairs are.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll just grab some of them and you can make them.
All right. So Petey likes the wineberry?
Of course.
Give him one. Let's see.
Here you go, Pete. You ready? Ready? I'm going to drop it, so open up. Ah, Pete. All right, here. Look, I'll put it in my hand. You get it. There you go.
They are small.
Well, these trellises in the middle here look a little sparse. So I went in last fall and again this spring and filled in any gaps. I'm trying to have them be about every 10 or 12 inches apart, you know, and fill up the trellis on both sides.
Oh, wow.
So next year is going to be a much bigger harvest than this year.
And what animals eat these?
Well, the birds do.
Yeah.
They come in a little. They don't bother them that much.
What is it?
I get a little competition.
Obviously, this is a weed, but what? Do you know what it is?
Nope.
Okay.
How about gone?
We'll call that gone. You got a lot. I gotta hand it to you.
He's harvesting his own now. See?
Where?
Look at that. He's pulling them off the vine. Look at that. He's chewing them up. He says, I ain't gonna wait for you to give me any.
He's got one hanging on his front there. Can you get it? It's under his neck. Oh, it fell off.
Petey, you better quit doing your own harvesting now. I told you about that.
Well, this is great.
Yeah, this will be way better next year.
I would think the deer would love these, though.
Well, the deer aren't coming in here anymore.
Because of the thing.
The squirrel might get a few.
Yeah.
But I think birds mostly is what bothers them.
But you have so many that
There's more down here than I realized.
You're going to have plenty for yourself.
I need to harvest a bunch of these.
Well, I know exactly where I need to put these. In the back of my new driveway garden,
There
don't
you
you
go.
think?
Hey, where'd you get those rocks? On that rock shelf that you made.
Out of my yard.
Those are rocks from your property? Mm-hmm. God, they're nice. You got those two flat sides to work with. You're sitting at the table and there was a nice rock wall built about that high or so.
Yeah, well, it's going to, that
Those
day.
rocks came from your land.
Uh-huh.
Man, they're good building rocks.
Every one of them.
Boy. Fell off from.
It fell off
from
of that.
way up there somewhere. That was a couple days ago. Yeah, I need to clean that up.
Okay, there's so much to do.
Yeah, there's always something to do.
And now it's sweltering.
Yep.
We need to go inside and drink hot coffee.
Hot coffee.
Or cold water, one or the other.
Yeah, walk through here to be in the shade.
Yeah, let's do that. Well, Daryl, it's been great coming back and seeing your place again. And, you know, we've been through a lot in the last year, and to see you just going for it is just awesome.
Yeah, I'm a true addict. Yeah, there's no stopping.
Your shoes are going to be hard to fill when you're no longer able to do this.
Right.
You know? Me too, but not as much as yours.
Yeah, I wonder what'll happen to this place when I'm not here, because, I mean, probably people aren't going to be into gardening as much as I am.
Yeah.
And that's okay. But they dang well better be into bamboo, or they're going to be in big trouble. Because you got to manage this or it'll come in on you, you know?
Yeah.
This place will be a house in the middle of a bamboo grove, and that'd be it.
Yeah.
But it's easy to manage. You just have to do it at the right time. Once a year in the spring.
Right.
It's not like you got to do it all year long or anything.
And we did a video where you were harvesting the shoots and you cooked one for me to eat, and it was delicious. Mm-hmm. So I'll try to find that and put the link to the right up there. That was so good. But remember and these rock walls you finished them since last year, right?
Oh,
These two sections?
Yeah, I did all them last spring.
Last spring, okay.
Last spring. See, what's next is, you know, to get rid of that pipe, see where the rubber's hanging down on there? Right there, I'm going to build this kind of a little grotto, natural looking, like a little small cave kind of thing.
Oh, wow.
And the water will come straight down into a little pool and then flow underground into the pond. So I'll have the sound of the water. In fact, that sound will be reflected off the rock wall behind it.
Yeah.
And then that whole wall over there is going to be rock wall. You know, it's going to look really cool.
It's going to be amazing.
Be way better than this even.
It's going to be amazing. I don't know how it could be better than this. I wish I had a couple of these. No, I actually wish I had 3 of these.
Oh man, those rocks you have to work with, you can put up a wall way quicker than I can.
Okay, last bed. This is the cool season bed, right? Or partially?
Yeah, well, I had broccoli in here, kale.
This kale is amazing.
I got these cages here, all have pepper. I got 4 pepper plants along the front here. Some are getting a little weedy I need to deal with, looks like. And I ate a lot of broccoli this year, but I did not get to all of them, and some of them are just kind of going bad now. But if I had chickens right now, I'd just give them to the chickens. I don't have any chickens right now.
Wow. Well, this is amazing.
Yes, kale's been real tasty. It's hard for me to decide. When I got kale coming in the same time as green beans, boy, it's hard to make a choice.
Well, how do you cook your kale usually? Or how do you eat it, I should say?
for 20 minutes. Chop it up in tiny pieces.
Okay.
Steam it for 20 minutes.
None of this massaging with oil and eating it raw in a salad, that kind of thing?
Yeah, that's too much trouble.
What is this called?
I don't know. Wait, what do they call that?
Mom's pink?
No, what is that called? It's a kind of rose that just really produces a lot of, I forget what that's called. Anyway, this was in front of my mother's house. And so when she was getting ready to sell the house and move over here, I took some cuttings. And
Here, I'll stand over here so I can see them. Yeah.
so, I got these two started off of cuttings. And they're struggling a little bit. There were big bushes in front of her house, so I hope they grow like that.
Oh, wow. How long have they been here?
About 4 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Is this as big as they've been?
Yeah, they're bigger than they ever been. But look, these bushes in front of my mom's house were like this. Over my head, great big, gigantic things.
Wow. Yes, pull it down. It's huge. And that's another castor bean, right?
Yeah.
But it's not red. Different variety?
You know what? This one's supposed to have red stem and green leaves, but it looks like it's all green. That's funny.
Now, does it die all the way back?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just an annual.
So do you have much out here in this beautiful garden in the winter? I don't remember.
No. It's, the rock walls show up a lot better, so you can that's why I want to get all the rock walls finished. You look out in the winter, it'll look pretty cool.
It sure does. Wow.
Hey, and you could take one more picture over here.
Okay.
It's not much to see, but it'll be the before, and then we'll have a...
Let me guess, this is the Christmas lima.
Yeah.
Coming out here? Is it really?
Yeah.
Come on, Petey, move.
This is my rattlesnake beans right here.
Oh, that's what I have to look forward to.
In fact, I'm going to eat some of these probably for lunch today. And this side that looks so pathetic was eaten by deer and rabbits when they were just young plants.
Oh, no.
And only a few plants made it. But this is a new bean I'm trying out. Look at this.
Look at the size of that.
Yeah, this is like Gold Marie, except it's a green flat pod Romano style bean. And since I've only got a few, I'm just leaving them all. I didn't even eat any at all. I'm going to leave them go for seed and try again next year.
If you were going to eat a bean like that, when would you pick it?
Well, I'd get it before it's swollen that much.
Okay.
You want it maybe a little flatter. There can be a little bit of swelling in there.
And then you break it into 1 or 2 inch pieces?
Yeah, just break it into pieces and steam it up.
Wow.
So I'll get a lot of seed here. This will set me up for next year,
Those are huge. I wanted to see, so when is the best time to pick the rattlesnake pole bean?
Well, again.
Show me a perfect one.
Well, see, I like them like this.
Oh.
Okay, it's skinny. There's no swelling at all. I mean, you could eat that, but it's not going to be quite as tender as that one.
Yeah.
This is starting to make seed here, but some of these smaller, I just get them when they're a little on the young side. Look at these. These are good.
That's perfect. And then if you miss it, then you let them go to seed?
Yep, I just keep them for seed then.
Okay. Because these look bigger. All of these look bigger.
Yep. And then this area right here that I just tilled up, there is a row, you see that mound running along there, I just planted potatoes in there.
Okay.
But this is where I'm going to put my corn cage.
Perfect.
Okay, and then I got a spot about the same size down in the lower garden.
Right.
So if I can build this and it goes okay and it doesn't cost too much, I'm going to build a second one.
Yeah, I think that's great. I mean, it's the only way.
Yep.
It's really the only way.
Yep.
Cabbage butterflies on
broccoli.
Blooming broccoli.
Hey, do you see these three right here?
Wow.
These
Hold on a second. Just give me 1 second. They're so pretty, even though they're so destructive. Their worm is almost bigger than they are. What did you say?
3 collard plants right there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I like collards.
And how do you usually cook collards?
I just grab 1 or 2 leaves because they're so big and just cut them up into small pieces just like I would with a kale and steam them.
And steam it. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now see, this bean has come over onto my tomato cage. I don't like when that happens.
Right.
So I will probably undo it and put it back on the trellis.
And ask it to behave. And this one is the one that, well, you got two things going here? There's one green and one yellow.
No, this is all gold Marie, but sometimes, I know what it is. Whenever the rabbit had eaten a bunch, and I was out of gold Marie seed.
Yeah.
So I filled in with rattlesnake.
Okay.
That's rattlesnake.
But these gold Maries are too big now to eat, right?
Yeah, they're all for seed now. I'm letting them go for seed.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I mean, you could eat them.
I didn't grow them. Is it too late to plant beans?
Well,
End of June?
I mean, it's not as far as the weather's concerned. You know, weather-wise, you have time, but the later you go in the summer, the more the Mexican bean beetles are attacking.
Oh.
So, and the bush beans are more susceptible than the pole beans. So,
Good to
you know,
know.
gold Marie or something would be good if you're going to do a late planting, I think.
It would, because I didn't get them planted.
Yeah, you got time. You'll be eating them in September and October. Just make sure you keep them wet through this hot weather. That's all you need to do. You'll
Okay.
be fine.
What were you saying
And
here?
here's my big scarlet runners. I've eaten some of these, but I'm also low on seed stock for scarlet runner, so I'm going to let this just go to seed now.
You don't eat the pod, do you?
No.
Just the bean.
Yeah, you got to take them out, and they're kind of hard to get at and open up.
I know.
It's a little bit of work.
I know.
So, you know.
Hey everybody, I hope you enjoyed my return to Bamboo Oasis. We've been through a lot since I was here. Both of us have lost our dear mother, his in August and mine in November. So the focus has really been a lot on family and kind of recovering from that. And so I haven't been back over here, and when I come today, everything looks so fantastic. So I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much. Subscribe if you haven't. Click the bell for notifications. Scroll down and click all so you won't miss an episode. Thanks so much. God bless you, and I'll see you in the next video.
Now turn off your computer and get back to gardening.
Right. Get out there.
What are you getting, the mullins?